Okay, what's up guys? Alright, this video has been a very long time coming. This video, as I'm guessing you figured out from reading the title, is about Cigaro. Alright, Cigaro, me and Cigaro, we have a really long history. Going all the way back to the Finish 'Em All days, back before that league was dead. I think I first met Cigaro in Finish 'Em All, and back when he was in Finish 'Em All, let's just be clear here, he sucked. Everyone was beating him up. I mean, me, Mod, Simi, everyone was beating him up. And I mean, that's okay. I mean, people were beating me up during my Sinestro days. I pretend my name was never Sinestro. That's just because that name is stupid, and I kind of regret naming myself that. I thought it was cool at the time. But the reason I'm talking about this is because I really don't have a problem with CC. It's just like, I really think this kid thinks he's a god. And first of all, even if he was a god at DC, it wouldn't really be that big of a deal because this game isn't really that important. But he's not a god at this game, to be honest. I mean, gods of this game are like Clutchmeister. I mean, Kingcc back in the day. By today's standards, I guess Kingcc probably wouldn't be a god. And by today's standards, CC is definitely really good. Definitely top 10, top 5, even easily. But if we're talking about just skill, I mean, he's not better than me. He thinks he's better than me in just skill because he has almost 300 skill points and I only have 130 on this character. So I'm playing powers against him. I'm like, whoa, why am I getting clapped up so hard? I'm like, oh wait, no, he has 250 skill points. Ice. I mean, he says I was getting no counters and he just kept beating me. Well, obviously he was getting counters on me because I had to block. He doesn't really have to block against me. Even if when he does have to block against me, it's pretty obvious because I can only get really good damage off with my hard light spam, and hard light spam is pretty easy to block. I mean, it's either easy to block or it's easy to launch depending on which one you use. Either way, I mean, he just has way more options hitting that hard with martial arts, and his BBs are on point. CC is definitely a skilled player, but he just needs to realize that having that big of an advantage, you shouldn't brag so much because it's not really about the skill at that point. I mean, pretty much what he's bragging about when he beats me with fucking 250 skill points, full 100, full geared, what he's really 101. What he's really bragging about is the fact that he spent a lot more time on this game than I did. I quit for 8 months. Even before I quit, I never spent that much time grinding out skill points. So I'm not making fun of him for having that many skill points. I mean, I do make fun of him, say he's a no life, but I don't really mean. I mean, if he wants to spend his time on that, he's just a kid. He can spend his time on anything he really wants to. But at the same time, is he really better than me because he has more skill points? No, he just hits harder. All right. If you look at the iconic scrim, I was catching just as many blues as him because it's a lot different when you don't have to worry about a 4-tap hitting you for 6k and then a frost snipe hitting you for 4k, taking 10k of your health away. It's completely different iconics. And this fight, we also had a really long discussion about glitching BBs before this. He tried to convince me that it's not a glitch, but pretty much anyone who uses it knows it's a glitch. They just know it's a glitch, but they still use it. Like Ferrari, King Absolute, Rhyme. But yeah, I mean, they just do it because they don't want their life BB'd away by me. And that's fine if it's just casual play, but hey, you can't be glitching in a scrim and then act like you're good. I mean, CC, the whole first scrim we had powers, he was doing nothing but glitch BB. So I said, don't glitch BB. And he says, okay, glitch BBs. He said, okay, and then he clapped me up still. I'm like, wow, why does this man hit so hard? 250 skill points, duh. All right, I'm like, so Sid scrim, iconics, and no gear. He's like, no, legends. Let's do legends. Weapon only. See, my problem with weapon only is, why even call it weapons only? Just call it a tapathon, all right? This is what's gonna happen when you do legends or weapons only. It's just gonna be tap, tap, tap. Whoever blocks first gets block broken because it's a lot easier to just sit there and tap when you don't have to worry about anything but weapons. It just really takes a whole dynamic out of PvP in general. And I don't really think it's 100% about skill play. Legends, I was scared to find legends just because I don't know anything about legends. I mean, every time I play legends players are doing shit that doesn't make sense to me, and it really confuses me. I mean, there's little nuances to legends that you won't really know if you don't play legends often, just like a fighting game, really. So even if my counters are just as on point as them, if they're doing something with the character that I don't know about, I'll still lose. But I'll fight him Legends later, I guess. I agreed to it. But anyways, during this scrim, he says he won, right? And that's because his score was higher. But as we had a really long discussion about him glitching BBs by lunging out of a block. And he agreed that, oh, it's a glitch, but it's not that bad. It's still a glitch. So since he agreed to that, all I'm saying is the kills where he glitched my BBs to avoid dying, those don't count. They don't count. We don't count glitch wins out here, so those don't count. So taking out all the times he avoided dying by glitching my BBs, I win by whatever. I haven't edited the video yet, so I'll put the score up on the screen. But either way, he did not win. Okay, we don't count kills from glitching BBs out here. Just like I didn't count kills when people were glitching BBs with the glitch roll, with the chat roll. That's bullshit. I mean, you're literally cheating to avoid to die, and then you're like, oh no, I won. That's ridiculous. Cicc is a really good player. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, when you bring it all the way down to just skill, he doesn't have better stats than me, he doesn't have better gear than me, and he's not glitching, then I won this one. That's all I'm saying. Cicc says it's like 17-0 between us or some stupid shit. It's really not. I mean, if we're just counting scores from all the time he's ever scrimmed, then I'm definitely up on him, because I beat, like I said, everyone was beating him and finished them all, and we practice scrimmed all the time. I'm pretty sure he only beat me like once before one shots were over. Not to mention I beat him a couple times on that PC character I bought, Blue's Fames. I named it I renamed it something. It's like Foops or something. I don't know. I beat him on that character, and he got a ton of wins on me when I just had a new account, like a fresh level 30 with nothing but 97 gear. He was talking all that good shit, so he can be proud of that, I guess. And now he's getting wins on me because I only have 130 skill points. He's got 250. But if we're just counting nothing but fair scrims where our stats are even, I'm up. That's all I'm saying. So, GG Cicc.
creature in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and amused from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance, stools in a bedroom, oozing a brand new cuneiform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone out to the yap of the magpie, unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight, black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get three dimensions stuffed in a two. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a two-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod, distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light, I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize, I let my skills deteriorate. Horn about a thought of what I should have been, continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. Used to paint, hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face, stenciled fire in his roommate's base. It was blooming addiction, a miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids in a minute, drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil ever linen. Joy to the poison, voice to the resin. Capture a map of a gesture, back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right. Or a torso hung on a warping spine in proportion. Reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush. Then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month. And the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury alive.